Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to start working on next, okay? But here's the old garbage disposal. Now this, our old garbage disposal, when we moved in here, we have no idea how old this garbage disposal is. It still looks in excellent shape. It's an InSinkErator Pro 333. It's a 3/4 horse, 4-year warranty, and everything on it looked nice and clean. It was running nice and quiet. And if it was me, and if this was my condo, I would have reinstalled the old garbage disposal. But again, we don't know how old it is, and it says it has a 4-year warranty. It could be 4 years old for all I know. I mean, I guess I could Google Pro Quiet System 333. See, it's a quiet system too, which means from here up to here, it's an insulation pack. And so when the garbage disposal goes on, it's quiet. Now, the one I got, I believe that's kind of a quiet one too. Okay, and it has an extra coating on it, like this one here, with insulation inside of that, and it quiets this down. And we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one in. But when you get the new one, it doesn't come with the pigtails. You buy the pigtails separately, and that was like 12 bucks. And see, on this one, when you install it, the strainer thing, you install it with screws rather than that big nut on the other one that's going to be installed for just the drain. Okay, I like those better. I was hoping to get one of those for that, but that's what they came with. This one with the big nut on there. Well, I'll get it installed one way or another. But with this one, it comes with it's got the power cord on here. Okay, this is called a pigtail. And I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the pigtail, and it comes with a little Romex connector there. And you undo the bottom screw and undo the wire, the wires and the wire nuts, and I'll save all that stuff, and I'll put that pigtail unit on the bottom of this one. That way I don't have to use this one here. The other pigtail is fine. This is 12 bucks. Why use it if you don't have to, right? And am I going to throw this InSinkErator, this one away? No, I'm going to save it, because if your garbage disposal ever goes out, most of them are hooked up the same. The outlets, well, on InSinkErators are the same where the outlets are on, and this was the old assembly. I don't think any of that I'm going to save, but see, this little thing here goes with the garbage disposal, and I left the little bolts on there, and I'm going to put that with that. That way, if this garbage disposal ever goes out, or if we have another garbage disposal somewhere and if it goes out, you can simply replace it by this thing here. There's one over on this one, and so if your garbage disposal ever goes out, you don't have to replace the part that's mounted inside your sink. That stays, okay? And then you take this and hit it with a hammer, and it's got 3 nibs on it, and there's 3 nibs, associated nibs, kind of like with a screw thing in the sink, okay? Which is that section right here, okay? That stays in the sink, and then you can disconnect it right there, righty tighty, lefty loosey, okay? And then that comes down and drops down, and then you can take your pigtail off, get a new one, put the pigtail on your new one, and on your new one, it's gonna come with this section. You just don't install that with your new one, because that's already in the sink. Then you can take that and screw it and tap it right back on with a hammer. You line it up, and then you swivel this exactly where you want it, and then you tighten this thing up, okay? And that's how you would do that. And so I'm gonna keep this. You never know, down the road, if this one ever takes a dump on us, and this is good for 6 years. If after 6 years it conks out, maybe I put that one in, or if we're fixing up a house somewhere else and it doesn't have a garbage disposal, maybe I put this one in. Okay. And by the way, I can put that in a brand new sink somewhere else, even though I don't have the whole top section, because maybe the old, maybe another one that I installed, I had this part that was already in the sink, and so I already have an extra one in here that I could have used, let's say. But if I don't, and if I'm putting this in a brand new sink where there wasn't a garbage disposal, or I'm putting this in a sink that had just a sink strainer with no garbage disposal, you can go to the store and you can buy this section from here down. From InSinkErator, you go to, at the Home Depot, at least I saw them at the Home Depot, you can buy this whole section right here on its own. Okay, I don't know what it was, 20 bucks or something. And then you can put this, you can fit this right on there. And obviously, if you don't have the pigtail on there, then you have to buy a pigtail, but that's way cheaper than having to buy a whole garbage disposal. This garbage disposal was 150 bucks. Just this, okay? That was, granted, that's for the 3/4 horse, and then they have one that's 5/8, half, 3/8 horsepower, and that kind of stuff, okay? But then this doesn't come with it, and that's another 12 bucks or so. So you know where I'm going with that. They're pretty expensive. So that's why I'm gonna hang on to this. I'll put it up in this attic in storage, or somewhere in the garage on a storage shelf or something like that. And if I ever need it, at least I have it. Now granted, right now I'm trying to sell this along with the sink that I tore out of this counter. I put it on Facebook Marketplace. So far I have got no takers. I started $225 for the sink. It was one of those, you know, what do you call it? Cast iron, porcelain, heavy sinks. And it's still in pretty good shape, but I started at $225. I got it down to like 100 bucks right now, or 110. And I'm gonna lower it down. And so, and I'll keep lowering it down, but if I get no takers on down to 20 bucks or something, yeah, of course I'm gonna save this garbage disposal, okay? But if somebody gets it at that point, yeah, okay, you've got the garbage disposal that comes with it, and I'm using the pigtail off it, so they'll have to buy their own pigtail for it, but for 20 bucks for a whole sink and a garbage disposal, that's pretty good. I might even give them this whole trap assembly, the old one. You know, that was with the sink, so there you go. I can give them that too, because when I hook up the new sink, I've got all new parts over here to do that. So I'm all set up with all that stuff. But I didn't want to get rid of any of the old parts in case I need them. But I don't think I'm gonna need them. Okay, so that's my plan for this garbage disposal. It's time for me to pull this pigtail off so I can use it and save my $13. Okay, I've got that disconnected. Okay, I'm saving the wire nuts and the little Romex connector. Whoopsie, I dropped one of the wire nuts. Okay, and you don't need the nut on the back because there's a slot there and you just screw it in and it tightens up on its own. Now, do you know how to hook up? Do you know how to hook these up? When you look at that, you'll see on the left side, this one is always for the white neutral wires. This side is always for the hot. And when you look on wire, I don't know if you can see that. There's little ribs all the way around this side. This is the white neutral wire. And on this side, this is smooth. Did you ever know that? That's how you hook up a pigtail. Because on the end, you might be like, okay, which one's the black, which one's the white, right? Now, if you're unsure, you always look right here on the side. And you'll see there's a little line in the middle, and that's for the ground. That's the ground wire that comes up here, okay? This side, one side is going to be smooth, and one side is going to have lines on the whole thing all the way around. And when you look at that, this side is the side that's got all the little lines, okay? And that's the side that plugs into the neutral. So when I go down, I'm going to have to go on down this way like that. Okay, the one on the right, just from how I did it, is the side that's got all the ridges. And that's going to be the white neutral wire. And this side is smooth. And that's going to be your black hot wire. Okay, that's how you hook up a pigtail. All right. It's getting kind of late in the day. My light is failing me. At least I've got a game plan for tomorrow, and I've got my sink faucet, my kitchen sink faucet installed, my soap dispenser, hand pump installed, and I've got videos for that too. You're just gonna have to look on the preceding one, okay? And I've got a game plan for tomorrow. And I'll see you next time. All right, guess I can mark that off my list. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. And what am I going to talk about next time? Well, I'm just not quite sure yet. It might be how to install this sink strainer or the garbage disposal. We made the determination, Mommy made the determination. She wants the new garbage disposal on this side and the sink strainer mechanism on the right hand side. Does it matter which side you put the garbage disposal? No, not really, but it's good that it is on the left hand side because that's where it was before, and it's just going to make sense because the drain outlet is over here on the right, and you hook up the garbage disposal over to the sink and then straight down to a trap and then the trap over. If the garbage disposal was over here and the trap was over here, we'd have a long section where the trap comes out and then a couple pipe extensions all the way over to the outlet, and cutting that off and all that kind of stuff, putting a 45-degree angle on there, or an eighth turn of 22.5 degrees. That's something we'll talk about later. But for the next video, you'll just have to keep watching to find out what I do.